Hey there, thank you so much for getting involved in the Doggy Festival this week. We've had loads of fun online creating content to help you and your dog get the most out of your relationship. I'm Shelley from Port Adelaide Enfield, and I'm joined here today with Davin from Sturt and our Joint Education Officer Petra.
We're here today to answer some of your questions covering dog behaviour and training, as well as questions relating to council processes.
The first question we have is from a Sturt resident who would like to know how to stop his neighbour's dog from barking. While this is not a simple answer, we can share with you some strategies we would recommend. From a council perspective, we contact both the dog owner and the neighbour and ascertain the severity of the issue and the times when the dog barking is allegedly happening. We would then work with both parties to reach a suitable solution.
There are usually a range of issues that can cause excessive barking. I think we've all lived with that dog, or maybe have lived next door to a dog that likes to let everyone know when a leaf falls down 3 houses away. Sometimes the solution can be as simple as bringing the dog inside at night or increasing training, exercise or enrichment. Barking is part of normal, healthy dog behaviour, but if it's consistent enough to upset the neighbours, there's usually a reason why why it's occurring. So that could be boredom or alert barking as someone passes by. Sometimes it can be anxiety or pain related, and sometimes it can just be a part of growing old. In all of these cases, there's quite a few strategies that we can use to help reduce the barking, but not all are equal, as we need to look at the reason the dog is barking and consider individual circumstances to find the best solution. If you want to learn more, you can jump onto your local council website for tips and tricks, or if you've tried a few things and are stuck, you can find a list of qualified trainers who can help you on the RSPCA SA website.
Our next question is from a resident in Port Adelaide Enfield who'd like to know why he wasn't provided with the details of another dog owner when he was involved in a dog attack. Thank you for this question. All of us here know how traumatic it can be when dealing with a dog attack, and all of our staff take these cases very seriously and we undertake full investigations. We also must respect the legal process, especially when it comes to protecting personal data. To receive this information, we ask that the dog owner would write to us, and depending on the circumstances, we may refer the resident to lodge a Freedom of Information request with all of that documentation so that we can ensure that the correct process is followed. Council staff are always available to answer any questions, so please give us a call for a chat or any guidance on this.
The next question is also from a resident in PAE who would like to know why his dog always licks him, and that's a question that I get asked on the beach as well. As everything related to behaviour, the answer is it depends. Sometimes dogs might lick our skin because we have moisturisers or sunscreen or sweat that tastes good to them. Sometimes it might be a way of getting our attention because dogs like to be social. If the licking is accompanied by intense sniffing, they might be trying to work out where we've been. Sometimes they'll touch their tongue to a scent on our shoes or pants or hands and then transfer those scent particles to the vomeral nasal organ, which is in the roof of their mouth. And that's a whole secondary organ devoted to scent that transmits information straight to the olfactory processing hub in the brain, which is really cool. We have one as well, but ours isn't as good. Lip licking, where the dog flicks out their tongue as if they're a lizard, can actually be a sign of stress or fear in dogs. It's not the dog giving you kisses. To test this, if this is the reason for licking, you can stop the interaction and see what your dog does. You might find that they turn around and ask to be patted on their butts instead. They might walk away from you, or they might ask for more. It will depend on what the rest of their body language is trying to tell you. If the dog's licking is really hard to interrupt, or you find that it's increasing in frequency or intensity, or across multiple different situations and becomes almost compulsive in nature, it might be worth chatting to your vet about it, as there can be medical conditions like anxiety that can influence that sort of behaviour.
The last question is from a Sturt resident who would like to know why he needs to have his dog on a lead on a public footpath when there's no one around. We get this question quite a lot, and aside from the fact that it is indeed legislated within the Dog and Cat Management Act, it is also because circumstances can and do quickly change. While your dog may have very good recall, the requirement reflects consistency and fairness within these spaces, and also sets a norm of expected behaviour. But it's also about doing the right thing. Having your dog on a lead in an on-lead area ensures that we can all safely enjoy these areas and keep off-lead play for off-lead spaces where we all know what to expect.
We know that dogs interact differently when one is on and one is off lead, and so you're creating a less than ideal environment for that dog that's on lead if you're not following the same rules as everyone else. It puts the on lead dog at a huge disadvantage and increases the risk of aggression. On that note, allowing off-lead dogs to approach on-lead dogs, regardless of how friendly or small or young that dog is incredibly rude. There are many reasons why some dogs are on lead, even in an off-lead space. They might be still in training, they could be too young or too old or unwell or recovering from surgery. Or perhaps they're really shy and timid and their parent is trying to help them build their confidence about the world. And here comes Larry Labrador with the enthusiasm that rivals the strength of the sun and attention span of a house, that bumbles in and with good intentions and undoes all of that person's hard work. I'm joking, I love labs really. I wish I had their enthusiasm for life. The other thing to consider is that your environment is constantly changing on your walks, and even if you have been walking your dog off lead for years, they're really well behaved. You never know when a car will backfire, or a cat will run across the road, or a child might walk past with an ice cream. Better to be safe and follow the law and keep your dog on lead. Dogs in on-lead spaces help us create a predictable environment for everyone that uses those spaces. And each of us in our community have a responsibility to ensure those spaces are shared respectfully and responsibly.
Thanks, Davin and Petra, for your help in answering these questions. We hope we were able to answer your questions too. However, if you'd like any further information, please get in touch with your own local council, and don't forget to check out all of our education training videos that we've put online as part of the Doggy Festival.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.